Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. This week, I've been talking about biblical occupations. In other words, jobs that you can find people had in the Bible and how that might translate into our modern culture, into the way we live today. And so if you've missed these, you may want to go back and see them. Monday was a baker. Yesterday was a hunter. Today, I want to talk about a blacksmith. Now, you know what a blacksmith is. We've all seen the scenes from Princess Bride or other medieval movies where you've got the person working with steel in the forge and they're hammering out on the steel. And blacksmith was a very, very important occupation in biblical times, because if you think about it, as the Bronze Age, which was in the land of Israel, the time of Abraham, right up till the late Bronze Age would have been the time Moses and the Israelites came out of Egypt, into the Iron Age, where they figured out how to make iron. It was very critical to all of the manufacture of such goods that you have a blacksmith, someone who knew how to work and shape and deal with the metal so that you'd have the benefits of it. So very important job. It's talked about. One of the good general passages is Isaiah 44 verse 12, where it says that the blacksmith takes a tool and works with it with the coals. And that's the picture we see. So what do I have to say about it? What's your video thought for the day? Well, first of all tools really are a creation of God. God has created this world with an ability for us to use science and technology and tools to make the world a better place. And that's our calling, is to try to take some of the sting of sin and disease and destruction away from this world and create it into a better place than it is today. So we've got tools to do that. Isaiah 54:16, God says, "It is I, God, who created the blacksmith, who fans the coals into flames." You know, you might think, well, no, that's science that does that. Well, who made science? It was God. It's a very biblical concept. It's like children. You can say, well, children come from the union of a male sperm and a female egg, and when they combine within the womb, you've got the genetic opportunity for the cells to divide and a human being to come into this world. Well, yeah, from a scientific perspective, all of that's true. And yet, you could also say, as the psalmist did, that God knit him together in his mother's womb. Now, he's not saying God's got knitting needles. He's recognizing that science and just normal ways of things happening in this world have been set up and designed by God. So God has put science, He's put tools, He's put technology into our hands. Point one. Point two, we can use God's tools for good or for evil. The same science that allows nuclear fission, the division of an atom, will not only prompt great medical uses, but it will also create a dirty bomb that a terrorist could use to create terror in the world. Same technology, good and bad uses. You see this also with blacksmiths in the Bible. If you go back to 1 Samuel 13, you'll read that the Philistines, at a time where they were dominant over Israel, wouldn't allow blacksmiths to live in Israel because they didn't want the blacksmiths to create weapons. But that meant when Israel needed a plow pointed or needed a sickle sharpened, they had to go to Philistia to get it done because they didn't have their own blacksmiths. See, that tool, that technology, that job could be for good or bad. So where do we end it? Point three today. Our call, our video thought for the day, is to use all of the tools at our disposal for God's glory and to make the world a better place. So think about it today. You're probably not a blacksmith watching this, But you've got tools. You've got a car. You've got access. You got a kitchen. You've got access to tools all day long. Use them to make the world a better place. That's your challenge. That's your video thought for the day. I'll see you tomorrow.